Me, Matt.
Hey, everybody, it's Kat.
Hi, hello, hi, hey. Hopefully, yes, it's working. We've got a green light. The connection is excellent.
Excellent.
And hopefully, I picked the right little chat button to watch. Hi, everybody, it's me, Matt. Get on out of that waiting room, folks. Climb on into the elevator. It's all the way up to the 10th floor. Hi. Hello, Mom.
Hi there.
Hi,
Hi
how are
there.
you?
You guys notice things are different there for
I
Matt?
mean, just a smidgen of a little bit different, right? Ah, man, I was hoping to get rid of the ding-a-ding, and I didn't get rid of the ding-a-ding.
You guys. It's okay.
Ah, well.
Gonna hear it even more on this one.
I really thought I had gotten rid of the dingy-ding, so I apologize for the dingy-ding. I've got a new computer, folks. I built this thing with my bare hands. Put it all together. It's a much better rig and much better setup than we had been before. So let me know if my audio is terrible. Let me know how you think I'm super handsome now that you can see all the lines in my face. And then also, of course, you can also recognize these folks behind me now that you couldn't recognize them before, but now you can. So let me know if my audio is terrible because it was bad for Days for Dummies. I hope that I got over that. Um, get on out of that waiting room, folks. Climb on into the elevator. It's not just us, Mom. We got Lola's mom, Kaiwan, Michelle, and Sandra, and Bozzolini. Hi, everybody. And
Hey, everybody.
my God, I really need to figure out how to undo that ding-a-ding. Basically, you guys are going to hear this chime pretty much occasionally when somebody joins the stream. I don't know how to turn that off yet. I tried during the break, and I failed. So
Yeah.
just deal, I guess. I mean, I'll see if I can go into my raw settings here on my actual computer and see if I can turn down specifically OBS or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try to find out though.
We're hoping that
Yeah.
we.
But whatever. Welcome everybody. Days for what is it? 10th floor. We got to talk about General Hospital, Ma. We got to
Yeah.
muddle through while I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to drop OBS down to 0. Can you guys still hear me? Sandra says the sound is fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, hey, it's Coaster. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I guess I turned down OBS. Oh, OBS browser page. What if I turn that down and turn this up? Huh? Okay, we'll see if that works. Anyway, whatever. General Hospital, Ma.
This week, didn't we?
Lola's mom says, I think we can handle it, which is wonderful. I love the positive attitude. It's a positive attitude that's not shared by many people in Port Charles.
Yeah.
Because they got trauma and travesty and injuries and problems and custody and hospital stays galore.
Yeah.
Okay? We got poor Michael. Burnt to a crisp and then woken up to feel every ounce of that pain so he can say, just leave the kids with Willow and put me back out.
Yeah. Can't say that quite yet, though, right?
No, Monday, I'm sure. Please, Judge, I don't care.
I don't.
Send him to Willow.
I wouldn't. I don't know this because I haven't seen a spoiler or something. It seems like he should talk to Jason before he goes back to sleep.
I mean, if they want to move forward with like the Jason pretends to be the Sasha baby daddy, then I guess he's gonna have to talk to Michael at some point. Unless he just decides. Unless he's like, I'm all on board with the Quartermains now. The only thing that I can do to help Michael Quartermain, my nephew, not my son, is to pretend to be Sasha's baby daddy.
What did you think of Jason actually going against Sonny and Carly and siding with, well, not siding, but deciding on the same thing as Aunt Tracy? Not siding with, but making the same decision.
We gotta lead the kids here from Monica.
Exactly.
Because we're starting a big Monica storyline in which we've made all of these decisions for Monica, but we don't have a Monica to decide for any longer.
Hmm.
Wow, that was fast.
I really, who knows? We don't know.
I don't know.
Certainly aren't friends with anybody over there
No, no. I mean,
on a personal level that we talk
no,
to.
no,
No.
no. Nobody's telling us the secrets, the stories, what's going to happen next. All of it is speculation based off of nothing.
Yes, but it's almost like they're writing Monica as if they know that Leslie is in hospice.
Yeah, I think so too.
Seems
I
that
think so
way.
too. I think so too. Oh, Chandra pops in, hopping off of the basketball court and into the elevator, hopping onto the 10th floor to say Happy Sunday for the CYO basketball game. I left hot chocolates and cookies for all of the parking garage, and Mama Cat has her diet, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, thank you. You know where I was yesterday morning having hot chocolate, which is only $1 there? My granddaughter's basketball game.
Look at that. So basically, my niece watched a 10th floor podcast in which we talked about the amazing basketball stylings of Chandra. She is a queen on that court. That ball sails from the half line all the
Yeah.
way through the net, and and for Chandra, it's not a 3-pointer; it's a 6-pointer because it's so far away and she's so special. And because of that, my niece was inspired to also jump onto the basketball court and join a team. And from the videos I've seen, just kind of run back and forth
Yeah.
for
She's on
about
the
30
70,
minutes.
she's on the 76er. She's so cute. All the more.
Just like under six baseball or whatever, basketball or whatever it is. It's
Yeah, she's
goofy.
like, yeah, I think it's under 7.
It's a goofy good time. But hey, you know the things that kids find at school that they don't find at home, right? Like,
But if they had some Diet Dr. Thunder, I might have bought one.
oh yeah, but no, the $1 hot chocolate is where it's at. Sandra says, "Hooray for hot chocolate! It's going to be a negative 10-degree Tuesday morning, and that's without the wind chill."
Boy, that's all reason to stay at home, isn't it?
You know, it definitely puts it into perspective when I'm cold, because I'm cold at like 50 degrees, and I'm like, oh god, it's freezing out here. What am I gonna do? So you know, it's 60 degrees warmer than what Sandra's preparing for. Oh,
I endearingly call us native Californians, California weather sissies.
yeah, we're wussies, that's for sure. But I definitely don't want to slip on a
But we
sidewalk.
really
So
are. Californians are wussy for weather.
breaking my tailbone on a sidewalk because I slipped on some ice isn't the future that I want for myself. So I'm gonna count my blessings. It's in the teens in Texas for Janet, and Janet wants a wildfire update. And there's a big change from last week to this week, folks. Last week I was saying that it was kind of tressed over the mountain, that there was threats of evacuations in my area, there was lots of problems and lots of trouble and lots of fire. That's really not the case anymore. The news is still out there saying, gigantic winds planned for Los Angeles. The fire danger remains. And while that is technically true, it's over. It's done. Unless somebody blows up City Hall or something, which I really hope doesn't happen. We're beyond it for now. This
So
particular tragedy.
the fires are not out. They're not completely out. They're not
No.
finished. But it's, the climate of danger is gone.
There's no smoke in the sky. There's no ominous orange glow at night. There isn't the constant sound of helicopters flying through the sky putting the stuff out. Forward progress has been halted. Anything new that has cropped up has been suppressed within half an hour of it coming up. The biggest issue was far away from us. It was over in Ventura, which is many miles away from Los
That's
Angeles.
like Magic Mountain territory.
It's further than that.
Further than that.
Further than that.
Okay.
So yeah, beyond it, when it comes to us here in the valley, we're good. When it comes to those who were right next up to it, I mean, they've got futures to plan, but nobody else should be facing any more loss of life or loss of property or just experiencing the fear. It's gone.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank God.
So, the danger at least. For now. Listen, nothing's ever 100%, right? So, you know, some firefighter out there makes a huge mistake, and then we got a problem again. So I don't want to say we're done, but we're done. In any way, Travois, am I a true Christian? What? We'll save that for another day. How about that? East Coaster says the media needs to dramatize everything. I counter that, East Coaster, with everyone wants to dramatize everything. We will jump off of the real world and talk about the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right? Because people want to dramatize what's happening on GH2, whether it's overemphasizing something that they enjoyed, saying that it's the best of all time, or completely villainizing something that they're not enjoying and saying that's the worst thing that's ever been created. It is people dramatizing this already very drama-filled show. And boy, oh boy, did we get it this week. People are actually, folks, I love it. I love it. GH is so good. GH is so good right now that people are engaging with the show in the way that it's meant to be engaged with.
It's good.
People hate Drew. People think that he's the worst thing of all time.
There's lots of things going on right now in GH. There really is. There's several things going on.
Mm-hmm.
A whole that show is it's getting out.
People hate Drew. People are bothered by Willow. People are celebrating Tracy for taking a stance, even if they think it's a weird stance. They're like, "You go, Tracy. You be Tracy."
Oh man, Jane Elliott, I just adore her. I just adore her.
Well, because she's there. It's hard for me to even pick what Tracy's motivation is. She keeps on talking about Monica, so that must be a major consideration for her. Somehow, some way, in the golden, dwindling years of Monica, and we're just going to have to talk about it the way that it is, because that's what the show is presenting us. Tracy having these conversations with, I think it was Olivia?
Yeah.
About her relationship with Monica and how it's changed over the years and this, that, and the other stuff and all that, and how she's upstairs all the time in bed and just laying down all of this information. And now she turns this into, no, these kids are going to stay here for Monica. But is that just a placeholder for her to say, for me, for our future, for these Quartermaine children that I love to complain about? But they are Quartermaine children and you cannot have them.
Right.
You know, so I feel like there's so much going on with Tracy when it comes to this. That's more than just Monica.
Sure. I think she's really afraid that she's afraid that the whole family of the Quartermaines might just diminish and be gone.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take all that long for that to happen.
No, I mean, if she looks around the house and thinks about the loss, I mean, she's brought it up with Carly, you know, AJ this and so that and yada yada who there. Like, Tracy, really, she's been around for all of it. Jane Elliott herself is only 3 or 4 years younger than Leslie Charleston.
Yeah, but I was surprised that she was as young as she was. She's 79. I thought she was more like me. I was just guessing she was in her upper 80s.
No.
But that's wrong.
79. I mean, clearly she lived a full life and had a lot going on and you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it took care of herself and it is what it is. I mean, 80 years is still
And so
a very long time.
What I saw in social media and her coat, her work family, they really loved her a lot.
Yeah.
And Frank Valentini says very nice things,
Yes.
nice things about her.
Oh yes, but who isn't? Who's going to say a bunch of nonsense, right?
Yeah, well, of course not. It just seemed like extra thoughtful words that were selected.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think that Frank Valentini has a lot of love and a lot of enjoyment and a lot of just those two words are perfect for Frank Valentini and his relationship with his cast. I've always seen I've always seen Frank as someone who is willing to make a concession.
Yes.
For the cast, for their comfort, for their longevity, for their success, for their work-life balance, whatever it might be.
Sure.
These horror stories of him being a villain, I think, are very wrong. And all I have to do is point to Kirsten Storms for me, honestly.
I'll tell you, the only thing that I found a little peculiar about him when we saw him was how turned down he seemed to be.
I think that he's just antisocial. Not even antisocial, but just like
not very much expression either.
Yeah.
I found him to be turned down. Not awful or anything, just subdued, maybe, I guess is a good word.
I just don't think he's a big boisterous performative man like an actor would be.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah, so it is and stuff. It is stuff. Let's see. I'm trying to make all these fun things that I was trying to make happen work. You know what I mean?
I do.
Because I did like this
You
thing
have
where
to get the kinks
anyway,
out.
it
It's going to
doesn't.
happen.
It's okay. It doesn't work yet because I don't know what I'm doing. But what I tried to do, folks, is I tried to add new visuals to this as well, like interactive visuals from you. For example, when you do a reaction in the chat, I intended on having that pop up on the video. It's not working. I don't know. I'll have to reach out to Vinny because Vinny knows what he's doing. From over on Suds. If you haven't seen Suds in the Squared Circle recently, their production values have increased quite a bit.
Awesome.
So good for them.
But anyway, you guys, Matt did get a very nice
Yes.
computer.
Oh yeah, and I built it with my own hands, like I said. Just like a tech king. That's what I am. That's what I am. I did only had to call Spinelli once or twice. I mean, like,
Once.
so where did this screw go, Spinelli? He's like, I don't know. I'm an actor. And my name is Bradford. Oh,
He took care of the podcast so much in the beginning for he and Steve. He probably would be able to help
yeah, he
you.
probably knows. He probably knows.
Really?
Ooh, East Coaster says, on Friday, Tracy had all but admitted she really hadn't talked to Monica. So it's not like she was up there going, Monica, do you want these kids? No, she picked Monica as the person, it's who Tracy is. It's what Tracy does, I think. She picked a lane,
Yeah,
and she's not going to be removed from that lane
right.
because I'm Tracy Quartermain. And I have decided that you cannot have these kids. So get out. Oh no, I've been arrested because I've kidnapped these kids. It's good, Ma. It's so freaking good. And I'm going to tell you why it's good. Because these people are fighting with each other.
Yeah.
I know that it's a strange statement to make, but General Hospital hasn't had their characters fight with each other in a long time.
That's true.
They've made choices that they didn't agree with, and you called the SEC, so I'm leaving you, Nina. Like those things have happened. But somebody coming into the room to tell them, to read them the riot act, to dress them down, to tell them all about their terrible choices and how it's affected me. It's been a long time
It has.
since
It
we've
has.
had that.
Nothing better than a dressing down from a Quartermain.
Like from a Quartermain or from a Spencer or from a Kermit, because we have Jocelyn telling Willow just how terrible she is.
Yeah, she was.
We had Lucas telling Willow how terrible she is. We had everybody but Chase telling Willow how horrible she is until Chase is like, I'm going to try another tactic and say, you're better than this. This isn't the woman that you used to be. I think that you're being influenced. And finally, this source that isn't a Spencer, isn't a Quartermain, well, he's kind of a Quartermain, but you know what I mean. This trusted man from her past, that she knows, she loves, and has always had her best interests in heart. Not his, not this thing, not this setup, not the kids.
Right.
But her best interests in heart is what Chase has always had. So, I'm going to believe him. I'm going to take what he has to say into consideration and go, oh crap.
Yeah.
Boy, did
You
I
know what
mess
was
up.
the craziest thing for me this week when it came to that little circle of what's happening? My gosh. For the first time, I thought that Nina kind of made some sense.
You're seeing the Nina that I've always loved. You're seeing the Nina that is just always on the edge. But because she's a wonderful person in her heart. She really does love these people.
Always, she does everything too big. Yeah. I can't hear you now. What happened?
There we go. There we go. For all of those who know ASL, you know exactly what I was saying the whole time.
I don't know what you were saying, sweetheart.
I was saying the audio was off and I needed a minute, please.
Oh, okay.
So the things are dangling. This monitor that I'm looking at now is 4 times as big as the previous one. It's wonderful. It's amazing. But everything dangles in a different position than it had before.
Uh-huh.
And so I was used to keeping a certain clearance from places that I'm not keeping anymore because the wire's in a different spot.
You need to go down there and do some zip ties and some mess like that.
I mean, maybe, but I also kind of need this thing to be mobile
Well, that's true.
so I can get it the heck out of the way if I need to. Anyway, I hope everybody loved my passion over Tracy because she was the best thing this week.
Tracy was awesome this week.
And Jane Elliott, somebody in the chat already said National Treasure Jane Elliott. I think that's something that's just a catchphrase on the show now. We've said it several times over.
Yeah.
But the levels that Jane Elliott is able to take Tracy Quartermaine, and I'm just going to nerd out about acting for a minute. So go hop on this roller coaster with me, because that's what Tracy took us on. Jane Elliott knows how to pull an emotion out of a scene better than anybody I've ever seen on Daytime. Like, sincerely, she has earned her status as legendary icon of Daytime Jane
Okay,
Elliott.
yeah.
And we really saw it this week. People love to point to the daddy, you want your heart pills daddy, but that's like the first effing thing she did.
Yeah, it was like 1979. That's amazing.
You know, can you imagine just like all of the stuff that we don't talk about
Yeah.
that she
Oh,
has
yeah.
done, that she has given, that she has performed?
And gosh, even not even, of course, her stuff with Luke was golden.
Golden loved. Oh my God. What a like when it comes to the send off of Luke Spencer, I don't think they could have done it better.
Well, of course, she didn't replace Laura because her story with Luke was different
Very different.
than the story of Luke and Laura. But it was still, by the time it was done and over, it was so endearing.
You
And
believed it and wanted it.
you believed it and wanted it, and she would know that Luke was trying to pull something over on her, and she would just kind of let it pan out, not be a total fool, but manipulate him within what he was doing.
Yes, yes, and the residual of that still exists today because we get Tracy and Lulu.
Yeah.
Where Lulu, listen, folks, GH is so smart right now too because of how the 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, Cody goes to Tracy and says, "Give me your money, I need it for Serenity," and she goes, "No, absolutely not, never in a million years." And she's trying to coach him when it comes to making wise financial choices, and he's ignoring her because he's got a bit of a gambling issue.
Yeah, he messed that up.
He messed that up, but it's a character trait. He's not a gambling addict, but he will
Right.
gamble money away. Like he sees it as something that is a viable way of expanding wealth.
He's quite a dreamer when it comes to gambling.
Yeah, and it's not like, and again, like I think perspective on that is really important too, because it's not like he has this compulsion to grab a roll of quarters and go to the casino every weekend, every free moment. He just sees it as that's a real opportunity,
Yeah.
and oftentimes it's not because then Kai gets hurt and they don't win and they lose 21 points in 5 minutes or whatever it was. Anyway, regardless, that's later. The whole point is to sprinkle in detail about how Tracy's like, "No, Cody, that's stupid. No, I'm not going to give you any extra money. This is what you need to do. It's going to take some time, but this, that, and the other thing. They're just trying to blah 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 blah." Lulu walks in and says, "I need money for an army," and she's like, "Okay, you need to lead first, though." Like that just goes to show, you know.
Yeah.
Like what? Like Tracy, who's like, "You can't have the kids. You can't have this money. You're stupid. I hate you, Drew." You know what? Just I'm done with that. Carly, why are you even in this flippin' house? I don't care that you and Monica have gotten over it. I haven't gotten over it. Leave.
Right. Why are you here?
Why are you into? You know, hey, Monster? Step Monster? Hey,
Step
Step Monster. I
Yeah.
need enough money for a small army. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but then she's like, yeah. But you know what? Now everyone that Lulu has gone to has told her the same thing. The result of what there was, their response is the same. Just
Simmer
totally
down.
different.
Simmer
That's
down
insane.
now. It's pretty much what
Yeah.
they're selling. Simmer down, Lulu. Simmer down now. It's a
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live
You just
catchphrase.
gallivanting around the planet when you don't even know what your destination is. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna send the Green Berets through all of Prague I love it because some of the snarky characters are like, oh yeah, great idea. Why don't you just knock on every door in Prague and ask them if they've
Yeah,
seen Charlotte and Valentine?
that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. Oh. So they went deeper underground. Okay. So this is what you need to do. You need to get a shovel. Okay, you need to start digging in random spots, and maybe you'll uncover them.
All right. Right. So Lulu is just being, reactive and dumb.
Oh, Daisy says hi. I'm sorry.
Everybody told her the same thing in a different way.
Yeah. Hi, Daisy. Daisy says hi. First, Tracy can't talk about Carly's past given Tracy's past. And Daisy, I'm here to tell you, that's never going to stop a soap character from talking.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Nobody's ever going to think about it and go, you know what? I did something similar in my past. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut because I don't have a horse to ride. That is never going to happen.
Oh, and you know what? The snarkiness between Tracy and Carly is so fun to watch. I like it a lot.
Yes.
It's the snark between the two of them is good. Yeah. You know who would be really good in a scene together as well because we have the same affection for her acting is Mara West and Jane Elliott. Put Ava and Tracy together for a little bit.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Does she remember holding Edward's medication from him? She absolutely does. She was reminded of it very recently.
She was by Drew, I believe.
But, also at the same time, people are always going to look at their lives and their experiences and their family and what they want from their own personal point of view. Very few of us stop what we're doing in the middle of drama to sit down and reflect on our own past choices, to make sure that we are not speaking from an area in which we have not earned. People don't do that in real life, so it's not going to happen on a soap opera either.
No, especially if you're, if you're highly emotional at the time, you're going to be more reactionary than anything.
Very much so. Very, very, very much so. And soap operas are filled with selfish, manipulative, horrible people. Even if they're set up to be the ones that you're supposed to like,
Yeah.
they're still manipulative, selfish, and horrible people. The only one that isn't is Harrison Chase. Somebody asked on Twitter last week, hey, who would you trust with your life? What TV character would you trust with your life? And keeping it within the lens of General Hospital, the only one that I could have chosen was Harrison Chase.
I would have to agree.
I can't pick Scotty Baldwin.
No.
He's gonna be like, so how much you gonna give me after this, huh? I'm gonna say, I killed him with a little knife, now you owe me some money. I'm like, no. I'm not gonna trust anybody with the last name Cassadine.
No, of course not.
I feel like Alexis would just lecture me the entire time, and I don't want to deal with that.
And we saw who lives over there on Cassadine Island.
Jens Sidwell.
Mm.
Not to be confused with Jens Austin Astrup, who plays Kai. They got the same first name, but it's pronounced differently.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
From my understanding, listen, I've never heard him actually say it, so tell me if I'm wrong if you've heard this person say his name, but it seems like, because his Twitter handle is spelled Y-E-N-S, not J-E-N-S. Okay. So that makes me think that his name is actually Jens.
Okay.
So let me know.
Huh.
Let me know.
Well, anyway, it seems like this character, he is like really kind of he's trying to put himself out there now. He's not trying to hide at all.
No, he's trying. Like I said last week, I think he's trying to be spotted.
He's trying to be spotted, but they're even more obvious now, especially since he wouldn't sought out Ava.
Yeah. Like he's finding people that he knows is in the circle of Sunny or Holly or like he sits behind Sasha. All Sasha had to do was go, and then she would have saw him, recognized him, and had a thing,
Exactly.
Like that's the question. If you have a question out there, if you're like, why is he doing this? It's because he wants somebody to notice him. And really, when it comes down to it, there's only a small number, like less than 5 people who would really recognize Sidwell. Jason, Anna, and Lucky.
And
Holly and Robert, but they're not there. Or mostly Holly.
And
Isaiah. So there's your 5. Sasha, Isaiah, Lucky. And these are the people who are in town. Holly and Robert ain't in town. And I don't think Robert even saw Sidwell. He just knows, had Sasha, had this, but I don't know if he ever saw the guy's face. Tell me if I'm wrong.
And of course, not because he was there, but John. John would probably recognize it.
Jack Brennan? You gotta call him
Yeah,
Jack, Ma. You gotta call him Jack.
I know, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, Jack would recognize him if he saw him, I believe.
Yeah, Jack would probably recognize him too. But that's like 5 or 6 people in a city of presumably at least 2, 3 million.
I don't know. Sometimes if you're okay, if you're a Bobby's, it feels like a little coastal town.
Yeah,
If you're,
yeah. Well, it's like Reno, right? It's the biggest little city.
I guess, yeah.
Oh my gosh, he'll kidnap Sasha's baby in retaliation for Holly, says Cheryl. Hello, moderator Cheryl. I think that that's a long way off. So if that's the plan, Sidwell's got a lot of waiting to do because that baby's not ready to be kidnapped yet.
And I do think that Sidwell isn't behind Sonny's house blowing up.
You think it's Sidwell? Because he went and he stood on the parapet and watched the explosion, presumably.
Because he went skipping across the room too. It was weird.
Presumably, it was
Yeah.
him.
He
Who
almost seemed
knows?
like the Joker, like something the Joker would do, skipping across the room alone.
They just need Prince playing in the background, right? Like with Jack Nicholson
Yeah.
painting on the thing. Just ruining all of the Cassadine art.
Seemed like that to me.
Oh, that would be a good moment. That would be a good moment. It really would. Him skipping across, knocking down gargoyles. He takes a razor blade and cuts the giant portrait of Laura. Yes, I want that. I want that. Oh no, I'm trying to read this chat here. My chat window is so much smaller. Let me fix that. Oh, I covered us. Keep on top. Perfect.
Yeah, no,
My
it's
chat
not.
window, it's smaller because I'm learning. I'm learning the new setup. Carly would also recognize Sidwell's as Daisy, so that's probably the case too. The whole point is, there ain't that many people. And Sidwell, to me, presumably. So look, he buys this house and he talks to Lucy,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, you wrote this book on this whole city, so you know everyone." And here's the thing: you know everywhere and everyone.
Yeah.
And then he hooks his arm against her and goes here and goes to Bobby's and goes to the Metro Court and goes or wherever they wound up.
Yeah.
You know,
He went to all the places that those folks go to.
go to. All the while, I am sure, because Lucy's easy to trick.
Times.
She is sometimes. He's probably pumping her for information
Uh-huh.
in a very, very, very like subtle way.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you just had that. Oh, you made eye contact with this person across the room. Who's that?
Yeah.
You know, that sort of stuff.
You could get a lot of information about the city just by asking her the story of Bobby's.
Just the whole.
Just
What's the history
story
of this thing?
Bobby's.
Oh, well, Ruby came into town and she was Luke's aunt. And Luke
Yeah.
is married to Laura, right? And Laura is actually Carly's former aunt or something. You know, not anymore.
And then Lucky is her son.
Is there so? Oh, Lucky. What an interesting name. How did he get that name? Well, he's actually Lucas Lorenzo Jr. or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they call him
Okay.
Lucky instead of Lukey.
Yeah.
That's exactly that's pretty much what it is. And why is he called Lucky? Because that's always been his name.
Always been
I'm
there.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Like
It's
his
always
first line.
fun.
To be a cat shed, to be the villain of the week. Who do you think wrote that, Ma?
Taiwan. I got one.
I got one. Hey, Del J. Love Rick. Del J. Loved Rick taking the check from Ava. It was hilarious.
It was good. It was good.
Oh, goodness.
It was good. It was good. Um, Ava better watch that Sidwell because, boy, he's an opportunistic guy.
He's working his way into circles. I really think that he knows far more what he's doing. He's doing. I mean, he might even know that Rick's been looking at Ava. Maybe he's observed that and he's like, well, I'm gonna put a little charm here and put a little wedge there.
Sure. And right now, and Ava's going to absolutely be as available as for him as possible because she's looking at, she's lost her money, sort of. She lost her Cassadine dough. And she knows that if he's over there at the island, he's got some money.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Blood diamond money.
And then Lucy would be too receptive to him as well, especially if they have Marty reject her one more time.
Oh boy.
Then she would be more susceptible to Jens. Jens could actually be playing the two of them against each other. It could.
I mean, I think that Sidwell is here to cause chaos.
Oh, I think so too. And I can't really decide where his gripe really resides. Where is it against Sonny and Sonny's whole organization? Is that his main agenda? Or is it the Spencer family in some weird way? Or is it just Holly?
It's all of it. He hates himself some Lucky. He likes himself some Holly. He can't stand himself some Brennan because he sent the drone strike.
True.
According to, because it's come up in the chat, according to the General Hospital Wiki, so, take that for what it is. Lucas Lorenzo Lucky Spencer Jr. Lucas Lorenzo Lucky Spencer Jr. So on his birth certificate,
he was actually in his name the entire time.
No. It's just his nickname.
Okay.
So on Lucky's birth certificate and driver's license, it should say Lucas Lorenzo Spencer Jr. According to the wiki. Just to put it to bed, because there was isn't his name Lucky? I thought his name was Lucky Spencer and not Lucas and this, that, and the other thing. And so
I always knew he was Junior. I always knew that.
Okay, well, you're not in the chat.
No, I'm not. But to me, he's always been named after his father.
Yeah. There's all kinds of Lucases actually on. There's Luke, there's Lucas, there's Lucky.
Yep.
And there might have even been a baby Lucas at some point that didn't make it. Because that's a soap thing galore.
Sure is.
Just like calling your son the last name of somebody else,
Boy, that's been done a lot.
It's been done on all the soaps.
It has.
I would imagine I bet on Young and the Restless there's somebody named Newman. First name Newman.
Oh, there probably is. Just like on All My Children, there was a Colby.
Colby Chandler, okay, named after Liza's maiden name, okay. Over in Days of Our Lives, we've got Brady Black.
Yeah.
Okay, Brady first name, all right. And then, I'm sure we did it on General Hospital, I just can't remember it right now. Lucas is a family name, so there's probably a lot of Lucases in the Spencers.
I'm like Steven in my house.
That's my dad's fault. Or your fault.
Kind of, sort of.
Because there would have only been one if you were like, no, we're going to name him Joseph.
That's true. It was my idea to begin with. You're right.
Tracy's Fractured History and more. Victor Norman. I think you might mean Newman. Excuse me. Keep the Tony Geary legacy alive, says East Coaster. Well, there you go. If you continue to name characters Lucas.
I agree. I say just keep the Spencer family alive, though. Just keep them Spencers
just
going.
Keep them coming. Just keep them coming.
Keep them Spencers going.
So technically Aiden would be a part of the Spencer family.
I think, though, Lulu is becoming so overbearing that she's just behaving as if she's not intelligent now. That's the vibe I get a little bit.
From who?
Lulu.
Oh, she's still foggy in the brain. She was in a coma for 4 years.
Okay.
I think that's what she just got foggy brain. She just hasn't quite come out of it.
I think her hot-headedness is affecting her judgment. Is just making her appear not to be intelligent.
I think that that's just what it is. It's not she's stupid. It's just she's not planning. She's under. I don't really know. Listen, I don't know. I can't explain it exactly because I don't know Lulu that well. The Lulu I know is not this. Didn't behave like this. You know, the Lulu
Well,
I know would have written a bunch of articles for The Invader in the hopes that somebody else would have found Charlotte. You know what I mean?
you're right, because the depiction between the first and second Lulu was
Mhm.
very, very night and day.
So because
Now she's kind of like, back to the original Lulu, but um just so reckless that it doesn't, okay. She has become so reckless that she doesn't seem really all that believable to me right now. The depiction doesn't seem to be all that believable to me right now. It's just too over the top.
well, that's
Too,
why you got so many people telling her to calm her butt down.
I guess, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to feel that way,
Yeah,
right?
like whoa, chill, like relax. What about
What are you
you got a
doing?
kid
You
here.
know?
You got a kid here, Lulu.
Yeah. I mean, everybody she's talked to has told her that,
Yeah.
but she'll get a grip.
She'll
She'll get a grip.
she'll get a grip. She has to get a grip. Plus, she's got a 9 to 5 to go to now. You know, that'll be
Oh,
distracting,
yeah.
especially when she's like, "I hate you, Brooklyn. I hate you."
And now she wants to be Brooklyn's like go-to girl? What?
You know, it's just the opportunities that are afforded to me. You know, I got to make a buck. What am I going to do? Continue to borrow
I
money
don't
from Lucky
know.
and my mom?
It seems to me like Maxie should like trade her assistants or something. Like, hey, I guess that doesn't make good story though, does it?
I mean, lots of things could make good story.
But that would be
But her
okay.
waking.
I guess that's the old manager in me that's saying, okay, this is a solution. Hey, here, my assistant is wonderful. She's really great. You may have my assistant, or whoever that person may be, and then problematic. What's her bucket right here will work with me because I know how to take care of Lulu.
Well,
Everybody wins.
I don't think people are necessarily trying to solve their problems in that way on the soap opera. I think what we're doing is we're just setting the stage for, you don't treat me like this. Who do you think you are?
Of
Why are
course.
you talking down to me like I'm a mutant and not a human? BLQ. And then that could be because I've always hated you. I've been so jealous that you and Dante had a baby while I gave up the one I had with Dante. That sort of stuff.
Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely what's going to happen. And there has been some truth-telling scenes with Brooklyn this week. She's had very much acknowledging that she did have herself a baby,
Well,
Brian.
yeah, we had the big revelatory confessionary, scene which we applauded last week
Hmm.
between Lois and Brooklyn, and now we can move forward with this plot, not having to hide it underneath the cover of suspicion or trying to dangle it in front of the audience from them to go, it's coming, because it's here now. So that's
Hmm.
good. That's good. Would Maxie and Brooklyn maybe Maxie and Brooklyn should share an assistant? Says East Coaster. Might be a lot of work.
You would think so,
I
huh?
don't know. It's tough because the depictions of business is always just so small.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Crimson is Nina. Period.
Yeah. But once upon a time, it was Nina and Maxie
And
and
Esme.
Lou and somebody
And
else in
Nell.
there
And.
back then.
Would Maxie Brooklyn should share an assistant? Whatever. It's plot. It's plot. It's plot. We gotta
Exactly.
get these
Well, just
characters
like
together somehow.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe Brooklyn
Yeah,
can.
what I was spinning made way too much sense too. That's not soap opera.
Yeah, what do you think if Cody turns out to be the father? That it just there's no. I would care way freaking less,
If
honestly.
what?
If Cody turned out to be Gio's dad, I would
Oh, no, 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 no.
honestly, like truly, like I don't mean to be a complainer or anything, or to use harsh language or anything. But if Cody turned out to be Gio's dad, I wouldn't flip and care.
No, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't have to make sense, but it just tells way more story if it indeed Dante is Gio's dad.
Yeah, like
And
what?
that totally tells the story of why Sonny has been
Mhm.
attached to that kid's hip from a spar all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
years.
I don't know what it does for Geo. I don't know what it does for Cody.
Mhm.
It's just I don't see how that would be the story decision. Just from a we're making a TV show, folks
I
standpoint.
so
I don't see why that
it's
that wouldn't be a
so
good
big.
payoff.
It so makes it weird for Chase. Would make it so weird for Chase
I
that his
mean,
best friend had a baby with his wife, he isn't able to have a baby with his wife. And the fact that his wife had a baby all those years ago and didn't share it, and there was really, and you think about it though, other than just for whatever reason wanting to just blank it out, there is no good reason for Brooklyn to have this deep dark secret, especially if she doesn't know who Gio is.
Mama,
What?
you have decoded what the story between Chase and Brooklyn is going to be for the next 6 months.
You think so?
That's exactly what it's going to turn out to be. 100%. They have laid the groundwork for this. They have done the work. They have established the relationship between Chase and Brooklyn in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this stuff is going to fold on out exactly the way that you have said. My partner at the PCPD was able to have a baby with my wife, and I cannot.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, I really think that that's what they've been working toward, and why this payoff of Dante being the dad works out so much better than Cody. Down the line, 5 years from now, after Cody's been far more established on the show, with far more impact, with far more gravitas to his character, sure, we can find out that, yeah, I'm actually Gio's dad. But right now, the payoff's with Dante.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're finally going to break up, and maybe they can get Brooklyn something. Wow, that's so mean, Kaiwan.
Well, I think this whole storyline is giving Brooklyn something.
That's like saying, finally, Brooklyn is interesting. Remember my criticism?
Yeah. They really tried to make they made Brooklyn a new, more compassionate, less self-centered character when she took care of good old, Wheezy Faison.
Wheezy.
She took care of Wheezy. They really softened the edges of Brooklyn. But this is I wouldn't, let's say a few months ago, was kind of been the writing on the wall on the 10th floor for some months now. But I would have said a few months ago, I wouldn't have thought, oh yeah, well, they're gonna write that this the violin kid is gonna be Brooklyn's baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. I'm 100% behind you on that.
And Sonny keeps on messing around trying to have a damn heart attack.
He's trying. He's tried his best, honestly.
He's
Pretty
trying
soon.
his best to have like big old heart attack.
Pretty soon, Trace is going to be like, you want your pills, Sonny? You need your pills? You want your pills, Sonny? Is that what they're leading toward? Are they leading it so Drew is like, you need your pills, Sonny? Huh?
Wow.
You need your pills? You want your pills,
Would-
Sonny? Do it, GH. Have the cojones. Come on.
Would that not be amazing?
You want your pills, Sonny? You need your pills?
That would really vilify Drew, though.
Oh, I want it. Make it happen.
Ooh.
Make it happen. Becoming a father would be a hell of a grounding for Cody. Why do you want a grounded Cody? I don't. I want a Cody that continues to make poor choices until he's on the edge of his rope and doesn't know what to do other than to reach out to Selena Wu, who says, this is what I need you to do, Cody. Finish the job I started and murder Sonny Corinthos.
You never know. You never know. What we do know is there's still a killer out there, and they say it's Cyrus. We'll see.
We have satellite footage. So I'm pretty sure. Oh, he's close to
Not
with me
John,
with the
but
whole-
Jack found that.
Yes, Jack Brennan found that. And as we talked about last week, sending Jocelyn off on her little investigator mission for him to observe from the outside to see if she's ready for the WSB. I know that this is the case, and I will tell you exactly why this is
Why?
leading to Jocelyn joining the WSB. I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because of her scene with Anna. What other scenario and situation would Anna allow Jocelyn to be there while she is questioning Cyrus, and then afterward explain to Jocelyn in intricate detail exactly how she derailed her own investigation? Because they are teaching Jocelyn to do this on the show. Anna would have been like, go home, Jocelyn. I need to talk to Cyrus. If it wasn't for arming the character of Jocelyn with these skills for the future. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. So I'm excited for that because that is a direction for Jocelyn that I didn't expect them to take her. It is a direction for the Spencer Corinthos dynamic that is different because of her relationship with Sonny is very different than Dante's relationship with Sonny.
Absolutely.
So I think there's just all kinds of possibility
Absolutely.
when it comes to sending the Jocelyn character in this
And
direction.
it really, even though she and Michael are in the same generation, it just really grows that generation of Spencers.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think that it's good. I think I want to see that continue, and I hope that it is a successful attempt on General Hospital's part to try to do this for the character of Jocelyn and for Eden McCoy, because I think that there's a lot that you can explore, and it's been so long since we've had like a homegrown cop, homegrown agent legacy born on screen, and now this is their career trajectory.
Well, I can't hardly even think of another one, really.
Exactly, like cops usually come in to be a foil or to be that help or somebody that
Sure,
already has a bunch of experience.
the long lost brother like Mac.
Right, and then that also gives more credit to the death of Dex, because the death of Dex now opens up the possibility for Jocelyn to honor him in some way by also having a career in law enforcement. I just think there's all kinds of fun opportunity there. Earlier, I think Daisy asked me if I would trust Trina with my life. Yes, but I don't think that she comes with the same skills that Chase does. So if I'm in a situation where I need to trust somebody with my life, I would pick Chase before Trina, not because I think that Trina is a worse person, but because Chase has more skill because he's a cop. Not because he's a man, but because he's a cop.
Experience.
More experience. Now, that doesn't mean, no, but Trina has proven herself to be athletic. She can jump across a snowscape.
And she was a badass on the boat, too. The
She
whole
can-
time she was on the boat, she was badass.
She could sail across snow like nobody's business. All right? She could practically fly when you're in Greenland. So there's that. Yes, you were totally right. On the Haunted Star, while being, she snuck onto the Haunted Star and got kidnapped to Greenland as a stowaway before they found her. Okay, there's that.
And she still managed to help Spencer get out of the room.
She had like a plumbing pipe that she bashed somebody with or something. So that's good too. But all of this stuff is on the cuff. What do I do? Chase, he'd be like, I have an extraction plan. As a matter of fact, there's a uniformed officer at the door. Here's my radio. That's all. That's all it comes down to. Now, if we're in a pinch, if I'm on the Haunted Star, and I got Trina on my right, and I've got Spencer on my left, I'm gonna shove Spencer overboard and get rescued by Trina. Because I don't trust Spencer. Okay.
Okay.
I heard what he had to say about the Menendez brothers, okay? I don't trust that man, all right? And since Nicholas Alexander Chavez and Spencer Cassadine are the same person...
What did he say? I'm sorry.
No, he's just not a good interview, that's all.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I got into the weeds with that joke, you guys. I'm sorry for that one. Cody is too much of a cartoon right now. Very over the top. He's spiraling. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's gonna, he got in trouble already. He's already gotten in this kind of trouble before. He's getting in this kind of trouble again. But,
The major difference, though, is that he gave Selena $50,000 and didn't say, I will give you $50,000. So there's a big difference there. He doesn't owe her any more money. He just lost what he had gotten from Drew, I guess.
He sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did. And and I do believe that he was trying to buy the Serenity property. I think that's true.
Oh, no, he's totally trying to buy Serenity before a developer does, because he took that real estate agent for their word, and I think that he needs to listen to Tracy, because Tracy knows what the hell is going on at all times. Like, she could just sense it. She can smell it in the air when somebody tells her a story. She goes, I know the truth.
Yep. I think so.
Oh my gosh. Ava should get her daughter back, says Del J. We'll see what happens with that. It's this quiet little rumbling story, just on the back burner. It's still present. You
Right.
still hear about it every once in a while, but there's no progression.
Right. And Avery has been at Carly's house a lot. That's why she wasn't at the house when there was a fire, is because she was at Carly's house. And they made a point of saying that this week as well, that Carly's house, where sits familiar, it used to be her dad's house. Her bedroom is still there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. The Trina character has faced down a couple of top villains, says Del. Cyrus and Uncle Victor. And you're totally right about that, Del J. And the next time somebody says that they don't treat Trina with enough importance and respect, I will remind them that she indeed has already faced down a couple of top villains and gets great and wonderful story on a regular basis.
I'm glad that I'm not Victor. I'm glad that Cyrus is not trying to make a victim out of Trina again this round. Not,
No, but he might have his
'cause,
eyes
know,
on
he's out
Ms.
there.
Portia.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I think he has disabled the cameras in the stairwell of the 10th floor. Is
Not
what
the
I-
10th floor. So I like where this is going with Cyrus. I'm easily entertained. Okay, it's harder for me to isolate a character and say I hate what you're doing to this one specific character, because that's not what the show is for me. So I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. It's not the Hannibal Lecter Cyrus that I had wanted,
No.
but it's still a good Cyrus. Okay,
Psychopathic Cyrus seems to be on the return.
and they're painting it in a way where psychopathic Cyrus didn't really ever go away. The conversation that they had
Oh.
with his church handler or whoever she was, talking
Right.
about he prefers the downtrodden, the alone, the dying, the people who because of what we have been saying for a couple of weeks now. Cyrus Renault sees himself as an angel of mercy.
Yep, some kind of
You
weird,
are old.
demented.
You are sick. I'm going to make sure that you no longer suffer from your ailments, your physical ailments. I'm going to make sure you are no longer suffering from your isolation from people who love you. And I will give you love as you go out. You will experience what it's like to have somebody pray over you and be concerned for you and guide your soul into heaven, because you haven't had that. And here I am to do that for you. It is compelling as hell because it's not evil. It's wrong. He
Well,
isn't
yeah.
giving these people the choice. He's choosing for them.
It's like it's criminal it's mental illness with a criminal result.
Because it's not. It's hard to say because of course it's evil. Of course it's bad. Evil's such a big
Yeah.
word for me. You know what I mean? Like I really don't want to apply evil in a realistic quote unquote setting unless it's like
Sure.
Hitler. You know?
Sure. Well, it's he's reasoned away
Yes.
his behavior
Yes.
within his own mental illness.
Yeah, and it's bad. It's wrong. It's not the choice you should make. It's not the right choice for the people, especially if he's not giving them the choice, which it doesn't seem like he is.
And
If he
I'm
was
telling
giving
you-
him the choice, then he'd just be Dr. Kevorkian.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he sees himself
But-
as an angel of mercy.
He does. He does. And if anybody can pull off some crazy kind of behavior like this, it is Jeff Cooper.
It's Jeff Kober, and he's going to do so well at it because it's super great. It's super fun. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's
and
amazing.
the only bad thing about it, I'm all for watching is whatever they're going to write for this is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just, the showdown that's going to happen at some point is going to be crazy.
It's definitely building up to a big event. Okay, it's also I was talking about catalyzing a catalyzing something for Lucky and Liz. Mm-hmm. And this investigation could be it. All right, because Lucky in the conversation he had with her, I think it was at Bobby's, where they were talking, or at the rib place, because that's where
Right.
Cyrus is the busser at, right? Because she says, oh, by the way, Michael's not dead, and he's like, oh, okay, wonderful for him. Son of a bitch,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a Cafe Cherie, isn't it?
Cafe Cherie, Sherry, or at the the prime, that rib. It's not the floating rib, but it's
No, no, no. I
the
think it's
something.
Cherie, though. Isn't that the place where Cyrus works? Anyway, but Elizabeth was very smart because she took Lucky there on purpose,
Hmm.
knowing that he would have some interaction with Uncle Cyrus.
Yeah, yeah, and then they can drop a little bit of information for him, so they can see what might happen next. And Jocelyn totally ruins it afterward, and so now Cyrus has this very specific conversation that I just had with Lucky and Liz, and also Jocelyn being like, "I know you killed my boyfriend."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's gonna probably start having to be a little more proactive when it comes to his interference.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah.
does put Anna in danger, Portia in danger, Jocelyn definitely in danger,
Even Felicia.
Felicia in danger, because he would know about the Bell thing at this point.
Yes.
So,
Well,
the
he
poor
could
Charles
go into
Squirrel,
some
yes.
kind of overdrive the story that he's spinning within his own psychosis.
I am all for them doing something a little bit different that they have before. And that's him gathering these four people to try to off them at the same time.
Well,
Locking them all in a basement together or something.
that could be a bomb kind of thing.
Something, I kind of want to see a little like, oh, I've gotten all four of you, ha ha ha. Because it's not like Cyrus hasn't done the hostage thing before.
He sure has.
So,
That's what he did in Portia's
you know,
house, right?
maybe he needs to isolate these people and be like, well, in order for me to continue my ways, in order to bring people the grace and the love that they all so desperately need, I must remove you from the equation so I can do the Lord's work. It's gonna be good when it really gets
be good.
when he gets
It's gonna be
unmasked
cool.
and they're really going for it. It's gonna be good, and I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna be good. And because it's because I'm never wrong. So there's that. And number two, it's because Jeff Gober has already proven to us that he can do that.
Yeah, he sure. Well, he sure has. He sure has, and I hope that Marty and Laura are right there in the midst of it too.
It's gonna be good. It's
It's
gonna be
gonna be.
great. It's gonna be wonderful. So next week, Mama Christina is going to reopen Charlie's.
I heard that.
Do you think she's going to reopen it with a different name?
I don't. I'm starting to think no.
It's just going to be Charlie's, right?
No, I'm starting to think no, not unless they pull a fast one on us because when the last time they showed us the interior of Charlie's,
It still
the
said
setup of
Charlie's.
the tables was different. The interior was different, and it did still said in neon Charlie's.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe she can't change the name to something else because that bar is in the possession of the Corinthos family to honor Mike, who used to go to Charlie's.
yes, yes. So the inside of it, instead of it looking like Charlie's used to look like you thought of it as the old waterfront antique kind of furnishings,
Mm-hmm.
kind of dark antique, very ornate bar,
Yeah,
and now it looks very contemporary, very squared, very
mm-hmm.
modern,
Yeah.
a little more like almost like the Savoy in a way.
I mean, so Charlie's was a pub, and a pub kind of comes with a feeling, a flair,
Right,
an expectation. If I were to go to a pub, I'm gonna go
right,
there. I'm gonna get some deep fried food. I'm gonna have some beer, and there's probably gonna be a sport playing.
right.
A bar, a
Yeah,
club. Those things are a little bit different. You can have a tiny club too. You can go to a bar that is set up like Charlie's pretty much is now. I could tell you going down the street in San Francisco. Over in the Castro district. You pop into this place, it is a club. They got a light up dance floor. They got people in there, with all sorts of different ways of being dressed, dancing and bumping and grinding and drinking and having a great time. And this, that, and the other place, and the place is as big as a shoebox.
wow.
But it's a club.
Huh.
But it's a club. But it's a bar. But it's a club. But it's both.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie's.
A tiny bar.
That's why it would be tough for Jocelyn to be a good WSB agent. She can't really hold waters. Folks, what is it about television characters for you all that is frozen in time and they are not able to learn, change, evolve, become something different. She blundered this investigation, but that doesn't mean that when she's a secret agent 2 years from now, she's going to do the same dang mistake.
Oh my gosh, this is okay. You gotta remember, okay? Gotta remember. She's Charlie. She's Carly's kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carly's kid.
Yes.
Without all the struggle and the weirdness that Carly grew up in.
And I mentioned that because
Different kind of struggle and weirdness, but not the same as
it's just funny. I just say it's because I bring that up, and then other people too are like, well, Tracy doesn't remember holding her father's medication. Yeah, but that was 40 years ago.
I can tell you that she would just never, ever own up to it.
Yeah, that's all. But yeah, she knows she did it. Same thing with Carly. Carly knows what she did. She knows what she's been up to.
And there's been instances where she's mentioned things that she did to her mom when she first came to town, and how she stole Tony and
Yes.
all the crap that she pulled on her mom.
But that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, actually, Nell was an awful lot like Carly when she first arrived in town.
Yeah, it was supposed to kind of mirror, rhyme, we'll say. It's supposed to rhyme with that original story that Carly had played.
It did. That's why they found Nell's bra in Sonny's bed.
And all of that, because that's where they found Carly's bra in Tony's bed. But yeah. So it's just funny because it comes up when it comes to like a soap conversation a lot, not just in our chat, but just in the general thing out there too. Well, so and so did such, and so did this thing, and then 20 years ago they said this one thing about this one person. Oh my God, and it's like, why is it that we in real life are able to be different, but our characters on TV are never able to be something different tomorrow than what they were yesterday?
Yeah.
I just find it weird. That's all. Nell was worse than Carly.
Do you think Sonny's going to have a big ass heart attack?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No, I think that I honestly, I really, this is what I'm going to say. I won't accept anything but Drew holding Sonny's pills and saying, "You need your pills, Sonny." I will not accept anything but that. I will not accept a dang thing but that. So that's what it must be. Frank Valentini, Elizabeth Cordy, and Chris Bandit, and I hope you're listening. And you haven't written what this is.
What happens though, since Jason lives there. Jason saves the day.
Well, there we go, Daisy. That's wonderful. Yes, Jason can always save the day. He's just going to give Sonny CPR. Daisy, wonderful perspective. All right, even if you didn't mean to bring it, but you brought it. Carly was like Monica. Monica was a bad girl.
She was.
And now everybody loves Monica for being so wonderful and pure and righteous and great and nice and this and that and the other things, because you let Monica change. You let Monica evolve. You let Monica be different tomorrow than she was yesterday, but you can't let Jocelyn, you can't let Carly. Why not? Why not? And I demand an answer, a real answer. Give it to me in the chat right now.
But why don't that?
I'm kidding, Mom. Okay. I'm joking.
I know. I know.
Just leave my Carly alone. That's what I got to say. Okay, my mom was always loved Carly.
I love Carly too.
My mom was always loved Carly. Carly's been a big part of General Hospital for me.
Sure is.
Just because of what I watched, what I was exposed to, and what my mama enjoyed.
And I do think, Carly and Sonny right now really aren't making the whole Michael thing all about them. I don't think they are. And I love the fact that they're not fighting. They're able to come together for the greater good for Michael, but maybe that's because they have a common enemy though as well. Yeah. And I kind of like that Nina was able to pull Sonny aside.
Isn't it wise?
Wasn't really trying to manipulate him, not in the true out of control stupid Nina way. That's why, the couple of times this week when I saw Nina, I was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me it's so. This woman's making sense to me. That does not happen.
No. No. I must always hate Nina. There can be no arc from her. I can't like her sometimes and not like her the next. She can't be neutral. Daisy says, I will always say the people who ruined AJ was his family.
Well, yeah, he didn't. Well, I tell you, yeah,
Well, from
yeah.
my understanding, Jason was the golden boy, right? It was
Jason was the
like
golden.
Jason, you're the future. You're gonna be the doctor. AJ, who? That sort of stuff. Then
AJ AJ was always making poor choices, from the time of being 10 years old.
and then AJ accidentally bumps Jason's head real hard. And now not only does he have to carry the guilt of ruining the Quartermain Golden Boy, but he's also the guy that ruined the Quartermain Golden Boy.
Exactly.
And look at all this. Look at he doesn't even want to be a Quartermain and all of this attention you're giving him. What about me?
What about me?
What about me? Asks AJ Quartermain.
And by then, he's a full-grown man.
Yes.
By the
Continuing
time
to
all
make
that's
dark
going down.
choices. Sean Kanan, come hang out with us on 10th floor at some point. Let's talk about your, AJ Quartermain. Because you're AJ. I mean, Billy Warlock was AJ as well, but when it comes down to, like, who established who AJ is, what he's all about, his peaks, his valleys, his highs, his lows of his personality, all of that came from you, Mr. Kanan.
Sure
And
did.
Billy Warlock just did his own interpretation of what you started. So, come hang out with us on the 10th floor sometime. I know you're watching. And I would love to hear
like
all
that
about
a
what
lot.
you think about AJ. Because you were there for the beginning and the end. You were the AJ that died most recently.
Well, you should try to reach out to him, Matt.
He's a very busy man, but I know people who know him, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hello, Annette from the chilly Gulf Coast. You're gonna get a little snow, huh? Floridian snow.
Floridian snow. Wow.
Well, we'll see if it actually manifests, but it's real cold.
Yeah.
I remember it being very cold in the Bay Area a few times, where it's like, oh well, if it rained more, it'd be snow weather, but it's not raining right now, so don't worry about
Sure.
it.
That happens all the time.
All the time, it's cold, but it's not wet, so no snow.
Actually, yeah,
Sorry.
the last three or four mornings here, it's been frosted cars, frost on the cars. Of course, that weather, if it was raining, would be. But when it rains, it warms up.
Oh man, Annette comes in to say hello and start complaining immediately. I'm sick of Cody and Lulu, least bit, not least lucky. I think you're going to be stuck with them for a little while. Cody is on a trajectory of becoming more prominent. He's going to be playing a part in some stories. We've already had some spoilers about his relationship with Tracy. Not romantic, but he blew the money that she told him to do something completely different with.
Yeah.
So that's going to lead to something.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to see more Cody with his dad, Mac. I like it when we see Cody with his sister. I totally think of them as brother and sister when I see Maxie and Cody together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good together.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
You're probably going to get a
Who
little
knows
less
what's
Lulu.
going to happen with Sasha and her baby going forward?
I don't know anything about that. I think that
There's
GH
lots of
is,
speculation.
I think GH is just prime for it to go in all sorts of directions we're not predicting.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea
I
how it's
know.
going to unfold.
If Sasha doesn't have the baby with the best score I've ever seen for a newborn, off the charts, so healthy, it's the healthiest baby that ever in creation.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that doesn't happen.
But if it makes Annette feel a little bit better, though, I think we're going to get a little less Lulu going forward, though. Like, we hit the peak of her thing. We finally had the step monster say, cool off. There's really
So you
nobody
think-
else out there to tell her to chill. And so instead of being like this overly inflated, I've got to go find Charlotte situation, I think that she's going to settle down and start having some more pointed drama in situations with characters that we have around.
I think
Starting
so too.
with BLQ.
I think so too, but I think she's going to have attendance issues there at Deception.
You're a truant, Lulu.
She's going to be unreliable.
Just show up. It's sunny and beautiful for Annette over
Just
in
show
Florida
up.
today,
That's
though.
right.
Just show up. It's sunny and beautiful for Annette today, and I love that. I love that. I love that.
Do you remember when Brooklyn first went to work for ELQ and how she lost everything and bumbled everything?
Yeah,
and-
she tweeted something that she shouldn't have, and it ruined a deal. Yes, yes,
deleted all
yes,
kinds
yes,
of files.
Yes.
That was a long time ago with different actress, wasn't it? Or was that Amanda?
No, that was Amanda Setton. Because when when Brooklyn
Early
came
on,
back to the show,
It was early on.
yeah, when Brooklyn came back, like it was somebody else, and then she was gone for a number of years. And when the character returned, it was Amanda Setton. And then she got pregnant and didn't want to come back to the set because of COVID. And then they used Brianna Lane twice, I think, during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I want Michael to take away Willow's power over his care and tell someone to help Sasha during her pregnancy while he is awake.
That's why I want him to see Jason. That's what I was saying earlier. That I want him to see Jason, and that's really the reason why I want him to see him.
I mean, we're probably going to get that. Might as well. He's awake. He's doing lines. We got Chad on set.
And Jason would, out of any character, well, and regardless of who's telling him what their desires are, Jason's going to stick to what you wanted to the absolute key.
Oh, yes, to the letter. To the letter.
To the letter.
To the letter. To the letter. Word perfect, like Chad Duell is with his scripts.
Yeah.
East Coaster confirms, yes, that was Amanda Setton. It was Amanda Setton. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, Nina. Oh, Cyrus. That's all I'm
Drew is
stretching.
just horrendous, though. Drew is just so gross.
Drew gets harder and harder for me to explain week after week.
Man, oh man.
And maybe
Him, it's working.
And maybe that's because his villainy is unfolding before his own very eyes. You know,
it really is, isn't it?
you know, maybe that's why it's hard for me to kind of like keep up with Drew, so to speak. Keep up with well, this is what's happening. This is what the trajectory, you know, like it's hard for me to be clear about what it is that they're doing with Drew from like the show making artistic standpoint. Other than I'm going to be the bad guy now.
Yeah.
So it's like we are, like I said, you know, it's like we're seeing his villainy unfold in real time as he accesses parts of his personality he hadn't accessed before, because at this point in his life, he's like, I've been me, and then I haven't been me, and my face has been changed twice in my life. I don't remember anything. I still think I'm Jason sometimes when I wake up. And then I was kidnapped by Victor, and then when I came back, Sam died, and then Jason came back to life, and that ruined my relationship with Carly, because I know it's only a matter of time before she picks him over me, so I'm just gonna do that now.
Broke up with her the very next day.
Like, as soon as Jason came back, he's like, it's only a matter of time, Carly. I'm doing you a favor. Because one day you're going to feel so guilty that you chose Jason over me, and I want to spare you from that. So, like that happened. And so it's like we got to a point in which Drew just kind of, without waking up one day and looking himself in the mirror and saying, just F it. It's like that's where he's gotten in his life. You know, just whatever, just F it. I want to be with and bone Willow. I don't care how it affects everything else that she had going on in her life. It's just what I want.
It's too much. And I also don't agree with Alexis saying that Scout should go with her.
Alexis is just still trying to find Sam.
When it comes to really what's good for Scout is staying with the Quartermains. It is.
Yeah.
That's where it would be. That's
where she would be with her brothers.
That's where the most normal feeling she could have would be.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. Daisy
She doesn't belong in DC with her dad by herself.
Oh, absolutely not. With just like with a daycare provider or something. No. She should be with the Quartermains, because that's where Danny and Rocco is.
She doesn't belong with Grandma Alexis with all that activity and family stuff going on right down this dang road.
Yeah, totally. I don't know what's going to happen.
Now, what Alexis should do, but this is like just too reasonable. Go over there and make more nice with Olivia, and just go over there and spend more time over there.
Just do it. Just spend more time over there.
Yeah, just spend more time over there. It's such a big old place that you can avoid everybody and hang out with Scout, and hardly anybody you're there.
Just go hang out. Hop in the Quartermain playground, because you know they got one. They got swings and a slide somewhere on that property.
They got a boathouse.
You know, go push Scout on the Quartermain swing, Alexis, and stop trying to take her from the life that she wants.
Go out there and see Cody.
She
You
needs a
know?
moment. She needs a moment like Dante and Jason had. You know, where they were standing in the kitchen door watching the kids clean up the paint and huddle together. And I miss those kids. We need more Rocco and Danny on the show. Because they do they I don't know who they is, so it's just somebody out there. Shared some old promotional stuff of like Lucky, Lulu, Liz, Nicholas, Emily.
Okay. Yeah,
you
the
know.
old teenage brat
But
pack.
when they were teenage, like when those actors were like 17 or whatever,
Yeah,
and
clearly remember.
yeah, and it just seemed so good and valuable and important to the show, that I do think that they have an opportunity with some of the kids that they got now, especially Rocco.
Yeah.
Finn Carr. I think
Oh,
that he's got...
Also think with Danny.
Danny's pretty good, but I think Finn Carr is a little closer to getting it, so to speak, than Asher is. And this is none of the... it's really easy on the internet for somebody to say, this guy's got it more than that one, and then now somebody to say that I hate Asher and Tonneson, and that's not the case.
No.
That is not the case. It's not one or the other. It's just I think he's a little closer to accessing the character. You know how we were talking about James and Wiley and their little kid portrayals of stuff? And James seems to understand that he's playing a person while Wiley seems to be pretending to be somebody else.
Exactly.
So I think that Finn Carr is a little closer to that
And
access.
I
That's all.
Sure, I understand. I think that it's almost like a switch in the head.
Yeah. You walk out there, whatever your method is, whatever it is, if you have a ritual in your dressing room,
Sure.
whatever it might be, that transitions you from being this person into the character when you step onto that soundstage. And it's not even necessarily like that for everybody, because we all know that Ingo Rademacher, who played Jasper Jax, famously in interviews was like, oh, I don't play him different than who I am in real life. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to act. I just go out there and say things like I would,
Well, it worked for a real long time for him.
Worked for a real long time for him, yeah. But he pretty much was like, I don't have time. Like he said that. You guys can probably fill out more context with quotes and stuff than I can in the chat. The sentiment essentially was, I don't act. Daytime doesn't act. We don't have time to act. We just go out there and react like we would. So.
I guess that's one angle.
That's one angle, and he's probably wrong. I love Jordan also giving Drew the business too, says Dell. I wish that she dragged him more than she did.
Yeah, I loved it too. I love Curtis telling him right off too.
Mm-hmm.
No trying
yeah.
to like turn it into nicer words or nothing.
No, but people don't have time to be nice to Willow and Drew anymore.
Not anymore, huh?
No, and it's wonderful, and I love
Not
it, and I want
anymore.
more of it. I want it to continue to
I
happen.
think Willow's being stupid, but also though I think that I think she's being totally stupid when it comes to Drew. But I think that she did become more reasonable by the end of the week with Sunny and Carly.
Well, she's finally going to let him, I'm not going to run interference anymore. If you want to go hang out with Michael, you can. Mm-hmm. I still want them to kidnap Michael. Because she's in charge of his this, that, and this clinic and that clinic, and then now Carly finds out that the Ava Byrne clinic closed and this, that, and the other stuff. I just want there to be trouble, drama, issues. So Carly and Sunny are just like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to sneak your goons in there. They're going to take Michael to the clinic that we have chosen. And Willow just won't have a say because she's not going to know what happened. That's what I wanted to see.
I could see that happening.
I wanted to see that. Who is Vin
And
Carr?
in the meantime, Sunny will go get her ticker fixed.
Finn Carr. With an F. It's the actor who plays Rocco.
Right?
Yes.
And in the meantime, Sunny needs to go get his ticker fixed.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, hey, go get Michael out of here. I'm on the way to go see the cardiologist. Hey, my heart hurts, cardiologist. No, he's going to have to talk to Isaiah more about it. And Isaiah's going to have to remind him, I am not a cardiologist, Sonny. You need one of those.
Yes.
Okay, I could tell you what I ran into out in the wilderness, but we're not in the wilderness, Sonny.
No. And Jason better pay some attention to him. Because Sonny, like usual, can't make a sensible personal decision.
No, 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 no. No, no,
Most of
no.
them can't there in Port Charles. Cannot make a sensible personal decision.
No, I mean, why would we want them
Why
to
would
anyway?
they?
Why would they? Why would we want them to? We're watching them on our television screens. I want to see them make poor choices and fight with each other. I want to be able to judge
too.
them from my seat and say, "You're so stupid." I want to do that. That's what's the
Me
fun part.
too.
That's the fun part about watching the show for me. It's not so I can compare it to a reality show and be like, "Well, the doctor should have said," because I don't care. I don't. I don't care. I understand that some
No,
people do, but I don't.
no. What else? That was about it for General Hospital. The rest, we talked about gens, we talked about
I mean, we didn't.
Lucky.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much talked about everything but Kai getting hurt, but I think we all knew that was coming.
I think we knew that was coming too. And I've really warmed up the storyline of Kai and Trina myself quite a bit.
Once, really, like, it really was that meet cute spilling on him sitcom in a set we've never seen before, with him hanging out with a friend that we've never seen before. Like, it was a scene from a different show.
It was way too Fresh Prince to me in the beginning.
Like, it was just, there was no, like, dun, 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 with the laugh track, and, General Hospital has been filmed in front of a live studio audience. Like, it was all of that missing with the big fade in and the do, the wah, 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 whatever it might be from your favorite sitcom. And she spills on him, and it was one
Yeah.
step away from being a milkshake, or maybe it even was a milkshake. And
Uh-huh.
it was just goofy. It was just too goofy for me. And like I said,
Yeah.
it feels like it came from a different show. But now we're getting soapy
Yes.
with it. Now we're getting into it. I was telling somebody, because somebody asked me who does the art for Ava's Gallery.
Yeah.
And it seems as though the production designers for General Hospital do.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And when it comes down to it, they're not intricate. They're not life realistic. Like, it really is.
Most of it is subjective art.
A lot of it is modern. A lot of it is, I've splashed a bunch of paint on this canvas, go hang it in Ava's gallery. You know?
Well, I don't want to be disrespectful but that's what it seems like.
Well, okay, so I guess there's a difference. It's hard for, I don't know art like Trina and Ava do and all that sort of stuff. So,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's very easy to splash something onto a canvas and hang it in something that you're calling a gallery and have the audience buy that this is art. It's very easy to do that. When it comes to the playful way they use the brush and the colors over on the left little corner and all that sort of stuff, that is just made up artsy talk for two characters to interact with each other. It was not deep. It was not revelatory.
No,
It was
no, no,
sincerely.
no, no.
How many times have we heard people talk about art and then discuss the playful way the artist used the brush?
Right.
It's in every media depiction of analyzing art. The playful brush strokes. What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
So all of that to lead into, their conversation about art at the Chuck, which wasn't even at Ava's gallery. This was supposed to be the Chuck, but
Right.
it looked just like Ava's gallery. Excuse me.
I enjoyed Trina's scene at the bar where she was, where they trade
Kind of
seats
getting into it.
the game better.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I thought it was cute.
No,
I
it's
thought
totally cute.
And it didn't seem like, like you depicted the first scenes that they had were so chuckly and so
She's so
not
pretty,
like
I
you
want to
said.
study. Maybe I should go
Like-
to class now that I met somebody that's in the class with me.
Exactly.
Like it was too goofy, too dumb.
It was like you said, it didn't seem like the same show.
And then the art gallery thing, I understood what they were doing. This was their bonding over art, over intellectuality, for Trina to see that he's not just a dumb jock or anything. I understood why that scene exists. It helps to inform the overall story, but it was not a deep or impactful scene.
And I think the scene that won me over is when the audience learned that he had actually done the work on something.
Yes.
That scene that he had actually done the work. He didn't plagiarize it. He didn't get another student to do it for him
No.
and present it. He
Yeah.
actually did the work, and Trina was proven to Trina that he did the work.
Yeah.
that was pivotal for me to, be now
Oh,
more
okay.
interested.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
allows the audience to see him as somebody that's taking things more seriously than
Sure.
we
And
might
we
have
know
originally
that
thought.
Trina's not being victimized.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not lying or pretending or anything. Like he's genuinely trying to be him with her. And yeah, you're totally right. That's a great step in the right direction. And now we get into this. Now we put away the just very quickly and easy to digest establishment. The
Hmm.
I don't remember words now because we've been podcasting for too long. But we established
That
what this
happens.
is very quickly. We
Uh-huh.
established what it is very quickly with these easy to digest scenes. That's out of the way. Now we're getting into what this story is supposed to be.
Yes.
Kai is now looking at a completely different future than what he thought he had, up to the point where earlier in the week he was like, of course I'm going to go get drafted. I might get hurt and not get drafted if I continue to play college ball. That's stupid.
Hmm.
And
I
of course,
think we're
inevitably
going to
it
see.
happens.
I think we're going to see perhaps Kai go through this big arc of maybe never be playing again, but then he gets better, and
Yeah, I mean,
big arc of that.
they're all sorts of different things, but basically his at least his next year, like,
Yes.
hey, the draft is in 3 months. I'm not going to be healed up in 3 months, so they're not going to draft me.
Hmm.
Boom. Now that plan is gone. Now he's going to have to stick around Port Charles. Maybe he's going to finish that year of school. Will
Hmm.
he get into football? Well, I should get into football. Next year is my chance to actually get drafted.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, Kai, this already drama, arguments. Now we're in love.
Yeah.
Are you really going to just, and then what am I going to do? Go move to Detroit so you can play for the Lions?
Right.
Yeah, hey, that's what's coming.
Yeah. That's what's coming.
That's what's coming. That's what's
They
coming.
just got eliminated from the playoffs, by the way.
The Lions?
Yeah.
I just made it up. I have no idea. I really don't. I didn't even know that was topical. I just made up a team.
So there you go.
Drew Kane is not really a Quartermain. Sorry, LaShawn, there's no way to make him not a Quartermain.
I saw something. I didn't click on it, but I did see some kind of something online with that titling. I did. I did not click on it.
I don't.
Uh,
Unless
but
Susan,
they would have to really do some, you know, backstory weirdness.
they would have to say that Susan and Franco's mom were lying.
Right. And then the whole patient, what are they patient? Which patients are they? Five and six?
Yeah,
Okay, patient five and six. Well, then none of that should have worked anyway. Like,
because it was required for identical twins because they needed the same dumb brain. See, that's why we only see. We don't even know the memory that Ryan and Kevin swapped. They were patients
and
1 and 2.
perhaps that maybe true. Maybe then, if you want to say that, then Matt, maybe that Drew doesn't have Jason's memories and never has.
And he's just a dirty liar. See, that would be such a major change. I'm not saying they couldn't, but that would be a really big change with a lot of work behind
It
it.
would, huh?
How is Drew a Quartermain? He's Jason's brother, and Jason's a Quartermain.
Jason's twin.
Alan is his daddy,
Yep.
and you don't get more Quartermain than Alan.
Alan and Susan are their parents, biological parents. Monica is their adopted mommy.
Indeed, indeed. So that's how that
But of
works.
course, we didn't know that Drew was Jason's twin for a long time.
No, because Drew was Jason for a long time.
Not till years, just years and years without a Drew.
Yes, yes, yes. And the only reason that they are twins is because it was forced by the fact that they rehired Steve Burton and didn't want to get rid of Billy Miller. As much as you people want to vilify General Hospital, not you people in the chat, but other people who might be watching, want to vilify General Hospital for letting go of Billy Miller, which I saw unfortunate too. They could have fired him immediately.
I don't think there was anything wrong with the fact that they didn't keep Billy Miller around. I thought the way they sent him off was kind of ugly. I
Yeah,
don't see
yeah.
why. And I say that because that so goes against the grain of General Hospital, it seems, as they send people off the show, especially
Hmm.
if they've had any longevity on the show, and they've had any longevity in the genre.
I
They
do.
sent him off
I
with a
believe
message.
there is. I don't know the story. Other people out there know it way better than I do because they pay more attention to such things than I do. But there was of this supposed backstage tension there actually was. With Billy Miller and Frank Valentini, for whatever reason. I couldn't tell you why. I mean, we all know how Billy Miller's story ultimately ended, so it's entirely possible that there was a lot of darkness and demons in his life that was interfering with his work, with his ability to get along with somebody. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying that there's a lot out there that we don't know that lead into these things. But to me, from somebody who has a minor understanding of how this stuff all works out, what General Hospital and Frank Valentini usually do for their cast, I think that you're totally right. Something happened that made it so Billy Miller was saying, well, I'm not coming tomorrow. And they said, then get in this elevator and we're done.
Yeah.
You know?
Seems that way.
But, like Tracy's Fractured History and More says, Billy Miller was awesome. And I agree with that entirely.
I do too. Oh my gosh. And Billy Miller, when I watched a good portion of Billy Miller on Young and the Restless playing Billy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. 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 Didn't Billy Miller leave on his own accord? Asks East Coaster. I don't know, but probably. Because the way that it ended, you know, there was more.
They would have
There was
to.
more that could have come from Drew's placement on the show and the stories that they were playing.
The way that last scene was with Billy Miller, if they actually did that on purpose, that is just telling him F you in front of the audience.
And that's not GH's style.
And that no, it doesn't. That's
You know?
why I brought up that we don't see that. It's
Exactly.
not the normal thing.
Yeah, it
We
stood out to
see
us.
people- we see people leave General Hospital, up and with some fanfare, even if it's not by their choice, like we have been told. Kelly Monaco was her contract was not extended, or whatever, however you want to say it, but they didn't send her off ugly.
No. Based on a lot of the reaction that's out there in social media, which is not reflecting reality. You know, it's not reacting to reality. It's reacting to the reality that people are making up in their minds. But you would get the sense that on her exit, like her last day, they broke Kelly Monaco's kneecaps, dislocated all of her fingers, and then spit on her as she was leaving the room. Like that's how, like, the disrespect, the horrible way that she was handled, and how dare they, and this, that, and the other. Like the narrative behind it is like they broke her bones and then sent her out the door and said, you're fired. You know?
Tell you, I think Billy Miller's exit wasn't great.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, how it played out that way doesn't matter. And the other person, I think, is Roger Howard as well. He was sent off weird too,
So from my understanding,
because
on that
no
one,
story was spun from it. That's the reason why.
no. From my understanding on that one, ABC said you can't use Franco anymore. We want you to separate yourselves from anybody that's ever assaulted somebody.
Right.
So you can't use Franco anymore. You have to kill off Luke. All of these hot button characters that you have who did this terrible thing, you cannot use them anymore.
Right.
So they had to do the Franco to Austin flip.
Yep.
And then, as it happens, they weren't able to figure it out.
Yeah.
They were forced into creating somebody new and trying to figure out how that new person fits into the momentum of the stories that they've been telling. And it didn't work.
Well,
Until they said, we can't come up with it, and until Roger Howard said, I am creatively dissatisfied with what you were giving me.
Well, but there's no reason not to use that, him being shot point blank, as a springboard to something, even if he's never around again.
Except we just got to the end and we just don't know what else to do.
I guess. I
You
guess
know?
they need to hire you, huh, Matt? Because you'd have figured it out.
I mean, it's listen, it's right now, at this point, sometimes it is in a writer's best interest to introduce something without knowing what the answer is. Because now we can say that Cyrus did it, and it can inform this story. Rather than...
It could be part of the beginning of
Exactly.
a downward spiral.
Right, you know? Like, I came, but then I shot Austin, and I realized, I can still affect change. I saw the happiness in his face when the light drained from his eyes, or whatever, whatever crazy mental thing that Cyrus can come up with. So saving it without an answer until like now, for example, and they could say that Cyrus did it, really helps sell. Like you just went, like that really helps. Now, if they
would
said,
help-
"Oh, by the
it-
way, Mason did it,"
yeah, it would really tell us that everything about Cyrus, the new Cyrus, haircut and all,
has been alive from day one.
has been a facade. The entire thing.
Yeah. So, but if they,
Boy.
if they a year ago said Mason did it and Mason's in jail, then
We
done,
explained it right there, didn't we?
boom, done, the end.
Just like that.
Oh well, okay. So saving it can have impact, and that's not always what happens. Sometimes, most of the time, I hope they know how something is going to resolve before they write it, or before
Right.
they start it.
Yeah.
And I think we saw some of that, a lot of that, in the first couple of years of us podcasting, was them introducing plot with not really knowing how it's going to resolve
Oh my
as
God.
it's going
we
forward.
started our podcast and survived COVID at the same time.
Yeah, right. It's totally different experience in General Hospital now, though. Like, it's obvious and clear that they know where things are going and they have a plan. And I'm very excited because one of my biggest criticisms, which hasn't been super loud because I try to not be mean, I'm sorry, Sindus, is that everything returns to the status quo in General Hospital all the time.
Sure.
The relationships stay the same, the love stays the same. We don't have a big moment where Jason's like, you know what, I am going to pick you this time. We hadn't done that, and now we do. And that's
Yeah.
exciting for me. And they
I
said
loved it.
they
I
s-
loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And I loved it when Tracy reached up and touched his face.
Yeah. Oh, the peaks and valleys of Tracy. That's something I was trying to compliment earlier before we got on our tangents, as we do. I love it. I love seeing it. And Jane Elliott's wonderful at being loud and boisterous and putting her feet in the mud. And she's also great at being emotional and talking to somebody from their heart. And that's what she did with Jason. And it was convincing this time. And,
And
all-
she said your dad would be proud of you.
And somebody in the chat also said this. They said that they're really enjoying what's happening with Jason, and it's unfortunate that we had to lose Sam for it. But I don't know what else would have woken up Jason the way that he has been if it wasn't for the loss of Sam. That's really reminded him what family means. Like,
I think so. I think so too, because the huge responsibility of Danny knowing that he doesn't have that co-parent. That co-parent is really gone.
yeah,
That, his son still is not only a minor, but still needs him. And
And
still needs him in that kind
here's
of
the
way.
thing. Here's the thing too. On top of that as well, Sam goes away. Sam is no longer there in Jason's life to be that barrier, that wall, that safety net, that trampoline, whatever she may have represented for him when it came to the future of his progeny. Sam goes away, and who steps in? Wasn't Carly and Sonny, but the Quartermains.
Yeah.
The Quartermains are filling the Sam gap.
Yeah, they are.
And that might be melting the stone cold heart of Jason toward his
Yeah.
family. Plus,
Well-
they've made some major strides when it comes to his relationship with Monica.
They have. I like the way I like Jason the way he's being played right now. I like the way he's being written right now. He has to stay stone cold. He has to. But this more rounded person with more words and
It's
and
kind
not
of my
just-
favorite Jason.
and not being just a yes man to Sonny.
That's big.
That's huge.
And I also really got to give it to Maurice Bernard, too, because Maurice Bernard played that moment really well. I know that it immediately went into another ticker issue outside the door and made she needed to take his TNT pills.
Yeah.
But I guess that's sort of a manifestation of what Sonny was going through in the moment, because that was a very stressful situation. Maurice Bernard, come on to the show sometime. I'd love to talk to you about Sonny. But he was like, Jason, do this, and Jason was like, I can't this time. And the Sonny character was so taken aback by it that he couldn't even really react.
Right. He was shocked by his answer, but the first it Jason's about the only person that's going to not get this overly trying to intimidate you response.
Because well, like I don't
From
even I
Sonny,
don't even
Sonny's going to do that with
because
everybody
yeah,
else.
because Sonny's calculated. He knows how to push people. He knows what to say. He knows the attitude he needs to bring somebody in order to push them into making a choice that he wants them to. It's a bit of a manipulation thing, but you gotta be. You're the Don of the Eastern Seaboard. When it comes to Jason, Jason has said yes to him for so long that I don't know if Sonny even knows how to convince Jason to do something. Because Jason's always just said yes before. Well, now he said no over this thing, and I said, go get the kids. Like, even the first time I said go get the kids, he's like, Tracy, move so I can get the kids. You know? And then Tracy's like, think about your family. And then Jason goes, no, I can't do it. You all watched it, you know. And then
Yeah.
Sonny, like I said, Sonny's like, you understand what this means, right? And what a loaded phrase, what a loaded question, okay?
Yeah.
You understand what this means. This means, one, you're separating Michael from me and Carly. Two, you're separating you from Michael because Willow's not going to let you go see him either, okay?
Uh-huh.
Three, you've just disobeyed me, Jason, and I can't allow that to happen in my weakened state. So remember the original intention when Jason came back? He's like, I don't want to rejoin the mob, Sonny, and then he does.
Yep.
We
Yep,
might have
yep.
put that in our back pockets for Cordy and Van Etten to rework, massage, mold into a different shape with their Play-Doh, and then reintroduce now.
Yeah.
Jason doesn't want to continue to just listen to Sonny. He even told him, I'm not going to fill in for you full time. As a matter of fact, we both need to find a way out, Sonny.
Yeah. Jason has a lot of sensible words, doesn't he? He does.
I'm with it. This might be my favorite Jason. It might be. Now, I missed all of the Jason Sam stuff, so, you know.
Yeah. Well, that was Love Story Jason more than anything.
All right, let's see. Age gaps. We talked about it a little bit last week and the week before, but I'll bring it up again. It's just who we got on the show right now. That is the end and beginning of this whole age gap thing when it comes to new romances and possibilities, is because these are the characters that you have demanded to be on the show.
Certainly not new.
No, especially in Soapland.
Do you remember Sonny had a very intense romp with Emily?
Yeah, everybody hated that one. But I'll point to somebody that people didn't hate all the time, and that is Adam Chandler and All My Children. Every time Adam Chandler was with somebody, my 10-year-old self would see that and go, but he's so old. Liza and Adam? But he's so old.
I know, that's true.
And then as I grow up, and then my mind starts thinking about different things that couples do other than just spend time together, right? When you're 10, you're like, oh, they just hang out. When you're older, when you're 15, you start thinking about other things that couple do. And then I'm watching that and I go, but he's so wrinkly, you know, but it's just been a part of soaps forever. For as long as I could remember, there has been an age gap romance, and so it doesn't really bother me. On top of that, too,
I bet you, Matt, if we have been, well, you probably know this from watching, for like Days of Our Lives. I bet you there's some scenes where Stefano's with somebody, and like Victor was with somebody, and you would have that same kind of
I'm
sentiment.
already having it because Victor likes himself some Kimberly Brady because of his residual feelings for Caroline Brady from their youth. Caroline Brady is clearly much older than Victor Kiriakis over in Days of Our Lives in 1985. Now, clearly much older, maybe by 10 years. He's
There
a
you
good
go.
45, she's a good 55. You know, and this is the 80s as well, so people looked older than they were, you know.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah,
They did. It's undeniable.
yes.
So he's probably 45, she could be 55, and she just looks 65 to me because that's just what 65-year-olds look now, right? In any case, he's liking himself some Kimberly Brady over in Days of Our Lives in 1985, and she's 15 years younger than him. So Victor Kiriakis has slid up and down that age range when it comes to romances that he has pursued.
See, I
It's
guess it was
just a soap thing. I really do.
Yeah, I guess it was a sign of the times because it kind of goes along with Adam Chandler at the time.
I mean, maybe it's a sign of the times. I think that it's more of a sign of these are the characters that we have that are working, that are on our show right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I'm watching this, I'm not thinking, unless I have to, unless it's something. Usually for me, it's something physical, like some sort of like stunt or action sequence or something, in which I go, Steve Burton is 55. Come on, guys. Steve Burton is 58. Come on, guys. Steve Burton's gonna be 60 before you know it. He should not be jumping through pilot lights or whatever, right?
I think he's 54.
54, whatever. I'm just saying the character of Jason is getting to a point now where if he does this, his knee should blow out upon impact because he's 54, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Those are the only times I think about a person's age.
Uh-huh.
Beyond that, these characters are kind of ageless to me.
Right.
And so for me, it doesn't really... I don't think about it unless somebody else is like, but Sasha's so much younger than Jason. I never thought of that until somebody said so.
No, I kind of feel that way when I see Robert with a love interest now.
I think, but he's so
Maybe.
old.
Matt, are you ready for the elevator?
But he's so wrinkly. I agree, Matt says Dell. That means that they need to add some more men in the 30 to 40 range, and maybe they will. But Mom wants to get on the elevator, so that's what we're going to do.
Well, sweetheart,
Holy
it's
shit!
107. It's 107, my love.
See, my little timer went from hour and 10 to hour and 50 in about 2 seconds. So, goodbye, everybody. Get onto that elevator. Go back down to the first floor. We're going to duck, dodge, and weave away from Jen Sidwell. Because he's like, hello, I'm here. Look at me.
Yeah,
I'm Jen Sidwell. Does anybody know the WSB? And I want them to find me. So we're gonna hide away from that. We're gonna get in our elevator cars, tune our radios to previous episodes of the 10th Floor, which you can find on all of your favorite podcasting platforms except for the month of December because I really failed at uploading that, and I'm sorry. Maybe I'll put them up as a rerun. If you can't find us on your favorite podcasting platform because I failed at uploading the audio, reach out to us on Twitter at 10th Floor GH or on all of the different social media platforms out there. It's some variant of 10th Floor GH, 10th Floor Podcast. You just put it into Google and all sorts of stuff will come up, I promise. If you like the video, like the video. If you had a great time, subscribe to the channel and join us next week for more Days of Our Lives in General Hospital talk. And in the meantime, go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt.
I've been Kat.
And we'll see you next week right here on the 10th Floor. Goodbye, everybody.